So many words and pledges have been offered here on these city steps. Yet if you listen in the distance, you can hear what will be said of our efforts. You know the sounds of them. They're going to say our movement is prone to fatigue. They're going to say this will never last. They're going to say we don't respect the Constitution, or that we want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens. Well, you hardly need me to fill in the blanks, because these are the lyrics of a recurring tune of indifference. Of indifference, a tune that has been replayed countless times to drown out our promises to act in good faith with those whose lives have been torn by gunfire. Indifference is a powerful tune, so powerful that people can hardly hear our confessions of regret for having exalted lethal force as if it were the only response to the brutality and conflict we face. My name is Rabbi Nosanchuk. I am a rabbi at Fairmount Temple. I'm here today on behalf of faith leaders all over Ohio to say that our society's obsession with weaponry, our unfettered access and unchecked backgrounds to those who purchase and sell our weapons, that this view of our laws regarding guns and gun rights is pure idolatry. We condemn such idolatry, just as our prophets taught us. Indeed, our prophets taught us to walk with humility on this earth, on pathways of peace and healing for the afflicted, the orphaned, and the widowed. Today, that means taking steps to assure that the mothers and fathers who allow their children the independence of walking to school do not have to fear that their babies will become target practice for gunmen. That image of maiming and slaughtering our children is what anyone's religion calls an abomination. It is an abomination, I say, to hear leaders preen on in the public square about our glorious freedom while our children are in harm's way. We cannot stand idle while our neighbor bleeds. So we are here today with honored leaders in our city, our county, and nation to give life to a movement that is not about to fatigue. We are here to act as grown-ups do, as adults can, to respect all the amendments of our Constitution too much to say that they amount to a childish comic book notion that the only way to combat violent aggression is with even more violent aggression. It's why I stand here today and tomorrow with thousands of people of faith across America. We'll utilize the next 24 hours to call every Senate chamber and share with our leaders a resounding message. The message we have is specific. We want background checks for gun purchases. We want common sense measures to block gun trafficking. We want our leaders to enforce existing gun laws and to block the massive loopholes in those laws. For those of us who stand here today are determined not to stand idle any longer. And in particular to our Honorable Senator Portman, today we ask you to hear our message over the tumult in Washington. We're counting on you, Senator Portman. Pick up the phone. Call Senator Toomey from Pennsylvania. Call Senator Coburn. Call Senator Manchin and Senator Schumer and do something. For goodness sake, do something. Because if you review the history of gun violence, you notice that going back to Columbine, Colorado, one of the ways students and educators have avoided gunfire is to lie on the floor and pretend they were dead. And that's just what we're afraid our congressional leaders are about to do. With meaningful proposals being offered to reduce gun violence, we fear our leaders will lie on the Capitol floor and pretend they're as good as dead against the powerful gun lobby. Senator Portman, this is your moment. Your moment to show you're concerned. You can look alive and act with your energies. You can step up on the Senate floor and speak the truth as you understand it. You can help our nation expend background checks. Senator Portman, we are counting on you to act with humanity, with courage, and with decency. And if you need an example, you need look no further than your colleague, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, who has fought against long odds to survive the gun attack that she suffered outside a local market. She has pledged her energies not just to her recovery and to helping others, but this law-abiding gun-owning Congresswoman has stood up with courage, with resilience and certitude and said, enough. We ask our leaders to join Gabby Giffords and realize we've had enough. We are not about to fatigue. We are not riding a wave that is coming into the shore. We are out in the midst of the ocean, and this movement has only begun to rise. When the tune of indifference rises up to squelch our message, we will rise. So long as domestic abusers can easily obtain guns to kill their spouses, we will rise. Because a Newtown-sized tragedy occurs on the streets of our cities across the United States nearly every day, we will rise. Because of the gunfire that shot down Dr. King 45 years ago and that nearly killed President Reagan, we will rise. For the students of Chardon, the worshipers in Oak Creek, the moviegoers in Aurora, we ask you, Senator Portman, to join Senator Brown and rise with us. We ask that you remember those touched by gun violence and join with us and rise up. As a small gesture of memory as we close our ceremony today, as small symbols of remembrance to those that have been killed by gunfire, I ask the people standing aside me who are holding these dove-shaped balloons to let them rise. Let them rise this very moment as a memorial to the lives lost and an indication of our rising energy. Let them rise. Let them go. And say with me, we will remember and we will rise. We will end gun violence now.